Hey everyone, it's me Nita, and this is day 2 of my 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to be doing 12 days of Vlogmas, so let's go ahead and let's get started. In today's video, I'm going to be working on a bunch of Etsy orders. These are the last few orders that I have left that will get shipped out before Christmas. I want to get all my Etsy and eBay orders out by tomorrow. So I have a few t-shirts that I have to make, a few baby blankets that I have to make, a few wooden signs, and then I have a few Barbies that I have to package up that I sold on eBay. So let's just jump right in. So I'm going to show you all the supplies that I'll be using for tonight's orders. Okay, so I have 2 shirts that I have to make. I actually have made this t-shirt design multiple times on my YouTube channel. If you go back a few videos, you'll be able to see me make this design. But basically, I have these vinyls. I use HTV, Sizer brand for t-shirts, and I'm making a rainbow Big Sis and Little Sis personalized shirts. So I have 2 of those that I have to make. I also have 2 of these type of signs. One of the signs is gonna say, "Hello Sweet Cheeks," and another one's gonna say, "Hey y'all." So I have 2 signs that I have to make today, and then this is just, I have to have my husband staple or nail, whatever he does, the frames on, and then I need to paint the design on, and I'll be using stencil vinyl to help me get the design on the sign, and then I need transfer tape to be able to do that. So I had someone in the comments ask me what stencil vinyl is and what is HTV. So HTV is a vinyl that you'll cut using one of your cutting machines. I use a Cricut maker, and I'll have them cut the design out. I always mirror the image when doing this because we're going to be reversing it and ironing it on this side. So when we cut it, we put it this side down, and so that'll require us to mirror our image. So heat transfer vinyl, you'll use like a heat press or an iron to transfer the design to the shirt. For this is stencil vinyl. You will not need to reverse the image or mirror the image. You'll just cut it out as is. And usually you'll weed the outside of the design when using heat transfer vinyl. For stencil vinyl, you'll actually want to like weed out the design because that's what you're going to be painting onto whatever surface you're using. Okay, and the machines, I always go over this like in every video just in case you're new. So I have 3 different machines that I use to help run my business. I have 2 major machines. My first major machine that helps me run my Etsy shop called Knit and Thread is my PE800. I do a lot of embroidered baby blankets. Eventually down the road I wanted to start doing embroidered like t-shirts and sweatshirts, but I'll need a different embroidery machine to be able to do that. So for right now I'm just using my embroidery machine to embroider onto like minky fabric to make baby blankets. My other major machine that I probably use my Cricut more than I do my embroidery machine, and I've made my money back probably like 5 times now already just from this machine, probably even more. But I have a Cricut maker. Now you could start out with, I think it's called Explore Air. You could totally start out with one of those. I knew that I was going to use it for a lot of different things, so I decided to get the Cricut maker just so I could do as many projects as I can. So I use this to make t-shirts, to do any like type of personalization, and I also use it to help me make my wood signs on my other Etsy called Sawdust Over Glitter. So don't mind my machine, it's super dusty. But this is a heat press. Now I have all 3 of these machines linked down below in the description. If for some reason I'm missing something, please just let me know down in the comments and I'll give you a link to the item. I got all of these off of Amazon. I got the heat press off Amazon. I got the embroidery machine off Amazon, and I think I got the Cricut maker from Joann's and I had it delivered. That's, I think. I don't remember. I'll have to figure out where I got it. You could also get it on Amazon as well. But anyways, this is the heat press that I use. You don't need a heat press if you're trying to make t-shirts, but my god, it makes making t-shirts so much easier, and your quality of the shirt comes out way better too. So if you don't have a heat press, mine was only like, I want to say $150 So it's like not too bad, but I think they're pretty affordable. So a heat press is another major item that I use. I also use just like a basic Brother sewing machine. I believe it's a Runway series. I would show you that. I'll show you that a little bit later, but that whole area is a little messy right now. So I have to pull out my sewing machine. So I'll wait to show you guys what exact sewing machine that I use. But use my little tiny little small sewing machine honestly kind of helps me start my whole business, and then my embroidery machine and my Cricut kind of just help my business even explode. So, you know, I recommend at least getting one of these type of machines if you're planning on like doing a little side hustle. Like these machines are perfect for making money. I'm gonna go ahead and show you now all the Cricut designs that I'm gonna be cutting out tonight. Okay, so here's the first design. This is gonna be for one of my wooden signs. It's just a simple "Hey y'all" design. Hello Sweet Cheeks is gonna be the other little wooden sign that I have. We'll also be cutting out some stars because my husband has 2 flag orders that he has to work on tonight. So I'm gonna cut out the stars for those signs. And then for the t-shirt designs, I have it already prepped on the mat, but I'm doing like a tangerine blush pink rainbow design t-shirt. So I have all the designs all ready to be cut out. And then I'm only doing one embroidered baby blanket tonight because if you watch my first Vlogmas video, my machine kind of messed up the baby blanket and I was all out of white minky fabric, so I had to do a Joann's order. I was gonna pick it up today, but it was raining and I don't really like driving in the rain, and I don't feel safe when I have my boys in the car too while driving in the rain. So I'm just gonna go tomorrow morning when they open or whatever and just do my pickup order then, and then I'll get that baby blanket in the mail too tomorrow. So if I get all these orders done tonight, I won't have to stress too much about trying to get the baby blanket finished and getting out other orders. I do have a couple fabric orders that I need to cut and get out to on Monday because USPS is just, it's taking forever. So I'm probably gonna ship a lot of these packages UPS because a lot of these are for Christmas gifts. So I just wanna get them to my customers as quickly as possible, and I'm just hoping UPS and USPS cooperate. Okay, so this is the embroidery design that I'm doing. It's like this little farm animal barn house design, and then I'm gonna have to actually re-hoop this design because the person wants to do 2 names and a birthday, and I wasn't able to fit all that into one hoop, so I'm actually gonna have to re-hoop this item. So I'll be able to show you guys tonight how I hoop my items. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my Lovey baby blanket on the embroidery machine, and then I'll get my Cricut going, and I also have to finish sewing this baby blanket tonight as well. So I have my hands full, and I'm gonna be putting these machines to work. Okay, so the baby blanket that I'm working on right now is like my favorite design, almost my favorite design, but also my least favorite, just because I have like all these different applique fabrics that I have to do. So this blanket is gonna be time consuming, but it'll turn out so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start laying down my appliques. Okay guys, so here is all the little appliques. They're all stitched on, or all the different fabrics they're stitched on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start embroidering the satin stitches onto this design. This actually, the applique part didn't take too long, so that's not too bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on the next step for this. So my embroidery machine is doing its thing right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with loading my mat with some vinyl. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on sewing that monster truck design. So on my island, I have my minky fabric laid down. For this piece of minky fabric, let me move this out of the way. So for the minky fabric, I always make sure and add an extra 2 inches or an inch on each side of the blanket, just so it's easier for me to sew the back side to the blanket on. So I'm using flannel fabric for this baby blanket design, and I have this cut to 36 or 30 by 36, and for the minky I have it cut by 31 by 37. I'm gonna go ahead and lay the flannel fabric on top of the minky fabric. I'm gonna do right sides together, so that means the design against like the dots. Okay, so I have my flannel fabric on top of the minky fabric. Now I'm gonna use, I don't know if you guys can see me all the way back here, but I'm gonna use some needles now, well, not needles, but some pins to pin the blanket. So basically I'm going to pin the border all the way around, and I'll do pins in the middle as well. You wanna use as many pins as you can. That'll help out a lot with the fabric from like shifting around, because when you work with minky, it makes like the fabric shift a lot. So I recommend a lot of pins. Okay, so I am done pinning my blanket. So as you can see on the border of the blanket, I have the pins pinned very close to each other. And then in the middle of the blanket, I did like my hand in between each pin. And that should be pretty good. So now I'm gonna take this over to the sewing machine. I have a bunch of my vinyl already cut, so I need to weed all that. This design is done stitching out, but I need to add the name now. So I'm actually gonna have to rehoop this, which is a pain in the butt. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm gonna have to do that. And then this is my last thing that's cutting on my Cricut, and then I'll be done and I'll be able to put that away. Okay, so this is my Brother sewing machine. I just have a basic Brother Project Runway limited edition. I don't know if you guys can see the numbers, but this is the model of the sewing machine that I use. This sewing machine has been amazing to me. I've had it for probably like 5, maybe 6 years now, and I've been able to quilt on it and sew like a variety of different things, but I'm definitely going to need a new one of these because I have a feeling this machine won't last much longer, especially that whole face mask frenzy. It kind of just, I put some miles on my sewing machine, that's for sure. So for the minky blanket that I'm going to sew right now, I have it all pinned in place. I'm going to change the stitch length basically. But I'm gonna go ahead and move it to actually first I'm gonna move it over because I'm gonna be using 1/4 inch seam allowance, so I have my setting moved over to 1. I'm gonna change my stitch length to 4 the longer stitches, or like the longer stitches help with like the minky fabric not moving around a lot. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave that for the setting. Now typically you'll want to use a presser foot. I don't have one at the moment, mine broke, so I'm just using a basic foot right now. So I have my blanket all ready, and then I'm also going to make sure to leave a 5-inch opening. So I'm going to leave basically just 5 inches unstitched, because I'm going to use that as an opening for me to be able to pull the baby blanket right side out. Make sure to back stitch, and I'm just going to sew along the edge of the fabric using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm just going to do the perimeter of the blanket. So before I flip it out, I'm actually going to cut off some of this excess minky fabric so it doesn't look all bunched up when I flip it right sides out. Okay, so I just got done flipping the baby blanket out. I did pin the opening so it doesn't shift around when I'm sewing. You want to make sure that you sew the opening closed. I pressed it to kind of help make a crease along the edges, so when I sew, the minky fabric and the flannel fabric are all aligned. And then I also heat pressed, or not heat pressed, but I also ironed my applique design to make sure that the heat and bond light adhered or stuck to the minky fabric. So now I'm just going to go ahead and sew around the perimeter again with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I'll be all done with this baby blanket. So this is how the baby blanket turned out. I just folded it because I'm going to put it in a bag before I package it. So I just have it all nice and folded nicely right here. This person who ordered this baby blanket also ordered another one. But if you watched my last video, you saw that I messed up that baby blanket and I have to redo it. So I'm going to be finishing that blanket tomorrow. My vinyl's all cut. I need to start weeding that out. But before I do that, I need to reposition this design and rehoop it. So the baby blanket is all done being embroidered. Now I just need to cut off the stabilizer from the back. I need to iron the applique design, and then I'm going to save this sewing for tomorrow because it's already super late. My son, he kept waking up again tonight. It's been like the second night. I think he just knows that I'm trying to record, so he just keeps waking up. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted, but this is done. This baby blanket's done. I put the stencils on the sign. The white paint's drying, and then we're going to spray paint over the stencil with black spray paint, and then we just got to put the frames on for those. And I still need to weed out this vinyl for the 2 t-shirts that I have to do, but literally this won't take very long at all to do, so I'm gonna save this for tomorrow. Okay guys, so that's everything for tonight. I wanted to get more done, but with my son waking up every like 30 minutes and then me having to like waste another 30 minutes trying to get him to fall back asleep, I'm not like really able to be like productive. I don't know what's going on with him and why he keeps waking up so much. But I want to thank you guys for watching my day 2 of a Vlogmas, or my 12 days of Christmas. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button so YouTube knows to share it with others. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this month. I'm actually trying to get monetized this month, fingers crossed. So if you want to help me out, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I'm doing 12 days of Christmas, so don't miss any of my videos. I will see you guys tomorrow so I can go ahead and finish up these orders, package them up, and I have to go to Joann's too tomorrow. So you'll be able to go to Joann's with me tomorrow. Watch me finish these orders and package them up, and then maybe I might take you guys to the post office with me. We'll see. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!